Hey you guys, it's MJ from Alta Love. How are you? I am very excited because I got a new camera, but I'm not using the camera today because it's not arrived because I just bought it yesterday. But I was sitting with what I wanted to share with you, and I was having a chat this morning with a good friend, and I we were talking about the law of attraction, Eckhart Tolle, most all of the three people that I hang out with. Four, five, maybe five. Anyway, yeah, we were just talking about this stuff because this is all I talk about, you guys. Yes, and like the missing piece. What's the missing piece of law of attraction? It's all right there in our feelings and our emotions and our ability to actually feel them. And part of like the disparity in closing the gap, as Abraham talks about, I would put Abraham up there with like one of the best teachers for us in law of attraction. So and Abraham does bang on about this. It just seems to be the thing that we miss, that we keep missing. And it's there in our feelings, and it's our ability to feel the feelings. And the one thing that I'm really navigating with my own book and empowering people to become the creator that they are, and endeavoring to feel all your feelings fearlessly, is that if we're creating something out there that we don't like, it is that we're vibrating it. But I'm acutely aware of the fact that through mass denial over cycles and ages, people don't feel. Like, people are not aware of the densities they carry. People are not aware of the pain they're harboring. People are not aware of, yeah, the shit in their stew, all right? And this is a bit of an issue, but at the same time, the more people that are opening up to law of attraction teachings, if they're really committed to the process, they will find their way. And that's something that I'm open and honest about as well. It's that it's not necessarily clear cut, you guys. And I think part of the part of this sort of cyclical trap that we're in is that we live in a kind of entitled, quick fix culture. So everybody wants everything at the snip of their fingers, or the snap of their fingers. And doing actual work is something that seems to be too tiresome for people. And here's the thing with law of attraction stuff, you guys, to become a conscious rather than unconscious creator, which is mean just like unconscious creator is just like following the rules blindly, and like you are creating, otherwise you wouldn't be in existence, but you're creating stuff without owning any of it, right? You're just creating maybe more pain, maybe more abundance, maybe more lack, maybe more I don't know. It's nothing to do with me. That's unconscious creator. Being a conscious creator is like all of my experience is reflecting back to me aspects of myself. So the more you own that and integrate that, you'll realize that there's some fucking shady shit that you're gonna want to look at and integrate, right? Otherwise, we perpetuate it. Otherwise, we continue to create it. So and I know, because it's like that's what for me blindsides that ego, or like really kind of shuts me down. And again, I'm thankful for it, because I'm not into big egos. I'm not into arrogance and stuff like that, but I'm hella aware of when it rises up inside of me, and I'm more aware when I blindside myself with creations that are like boom, and then I'm like, I'm sorry, I'll be humble. Oh, it's like we're not what we think we are. And we're definitely not like, the stories that we've been telling about ourselves, they're not what we are either. They're just the stories. They're the illusions that we've perpetuated and created and put out there. So yes, and this is where it all gets really sort of paradoxical in the mind. It's that, like law of attraction is like, you're always vibrating what you're putting out, and you don't, when you want to keep it all light and positive and blah 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 blah, which is true. At the same time, not to deny, if there's a reoccurring pattern that's shitty, it's still the fact that there's some shitty emotions that you've got to face. And that's like a bit of a piece there. It's not about glossing over them. It's just about being unconditional and looking at it and being like, yes, I see that shitty feeling. I see that resentment. I see that jealousy. I see that, boom. And then we can be more unconditional with it. Often what happens is that we get triggered emotionally speaking, and that kind of creates a reaction. The more mindful we become, it's those triggers that are those are our like hooks for potential healing. It's just that my observation is that a lot of times people don't get further than the reaction, and then people actually create in reactivity. So rather than having a reaction and going, whoa, what's this energy, and then rooting it out and tracing it down and rooting it out. And that's something that's been in my beingness, in my point of attraction, for as long as I can remember. I've always been somebody who wants to work it out, right? Who wants to find harmony, who wants to in any given situation. And yet not everybody necessarily wants that. And what I'm also learning, and this has to do with arrogance, is that it's not my job to root it out for people. People who desire that might work with me, right? People might want to root out, transform, dissolve all control patterns, rise in joy, rise in liberation, rise in freedom. But what becomes very, very evident to people when they start working with me is that it's not breezy, easy, walk in the park work. It's deep, it's profound, it's emotional, it's ugly, right? It's hysterical. It's all of those things that we're ashamed of and we're sort of collectively taught to demonize. I'm here to reflect back to people that's the lid you're going to lift from within your own beingness. And it's in facing all of those shades and all of those veils and all of those layers of darkness within yourself that ultimately transforms it around you. And then the way we try to infuse our beingness with even more consciousness is just make more changes. Start a yoga practice, start meditating, eat cleaner, eat more high vibrational. And I'm not really into all that shit. I'm really not into like, this is how you do well-being, you guys, or or this is the best way to be high vibration. I'm quite rebellious like that, you guys. I'm kind of like anything goes because we're all spiritual. That's the truth of it. And and depending on like how much we merge with our broader aspect, our spiritual self, our higher self, our source point, whatever, the more we merge with that, the more light force, the more light information we infuse our beingness with. So like literally people become more radiant because they're infusing their consciousness with more light. But it doesn't matter how fucking spiritual they are, according to like the 3D compartments of humanity. The spiritual people, the business people, the government people, the 3D reality, blah, 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 versus more like avatar reality, more like meditation around the holy tree of life, because we're going to need to regenerate this planet. Well, the planet's regenerating herself, let's be honest. But the more we access our higher consciousness, the more we can yoke that and sort of vibrate that elixir of life, that regenerative elixir of eternal life, which is true, just not true for the perspective we've created thus far. So we can shift that. Anywho, let's go right back to the real point. What's the missing piece in law of attractions? The fact that it's okay to feel shit. It's okay to feel down. But the big turning point is like in your present state, you can totally accept those feelings. You can love and accept hatred, fear, anxiety. You can breathe with it. So that moment of accepting your density is the moment of clearing it out so that you're not gonna vibrate it anymore. But if you keep denying an emotional release, if you keep pretending it's not there, or, well, I'm just an anxious person, so I'm just always gonna have to be, nothing else is, if you just keep putting it out there, then it's going to stay out there. If you actually bring it into your beingness, bring the anxiety in here, bring the trauma, for me, it's like people reject me or people abuse me or I'll bring it into myself. I'll be like, all right, I'll own that creation. I put that on someone. I'm the one perpetuating war cycles. I'm the one controlling, manipulating. And then when I own it as my own, I can integrate it, rise above it, and then basically be a totally free and sovereign human being, which is the way to go. The way to go. Honestly, I get no triggers from banks anymore, banking systems or finances. I get I'm still working through a specific area of my life, and that's good. It's good for me to do that. Guys, do you know what? I have lights on today. No camera yet, but new lights. New lights for you guys, so that MJ's broadcasts are even more profesh. So yeah, I've got lights on, which is making my face look a little bit shinier for you guys. And I'm getting a new camera. So the new camera shall arrive this week. And otherwise, I'm really happy to be here today. It's Monday, September 3rd. The tour of Britain is happening. And the only reason I know that is because there's signs all over the roads telling me that the roads are going to be closed between like 1 and 3 or 1 and 4 today. So it looks like it's going to be another one of those days where I do very, 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 very little. Except, guys, did I tell you I went surfing yesterday? Super glorious. I got to tell you, Woolacombe Beach in North Devon is the bee's knees. Really glorious water. Sand, like sand forever. And the waves yesterday were absolutely glorious. I could do with like more empty water because you have to be quite mindful of people so you don't like knock them over with your surfboard or get knocked over by a surfboard. But after the downturn of this last, like coming to the end of a cycle, and like literally you guys, like now I'm like cutting off the last little bits, long-term situations, and then less long-term, but then, you know, clearing devices, clearing accounts, and clearing people and circumstances completely out of my life. And now that, like literally I'm talking like closing accounts down, that happened just this morning. Finishing my engagement with certain energy streams, that finished yesterday. Like that's been cut now. And it's no surprise that yesterday I finally get the surge of energy to go for a surf. Oh my God. Okay, this is the last thing. But so yesterday I'm in the sea and I'm suddenly having this like moment of like, I'm the water, and I just want to like infuse this body of water with like just so much love and light. And like, I just had this profound moment of just feeling so connected to the water and being like, and like feeling and believing that my own energy, like I just like root my feet down into the earth, and then my whole body just lights up, and it just like electrical currents. It just like, not because that would kill everything, but like, you know, just like through the ocean, the elixir, the life force, that high vibrational transformational energy is just like, it's running its way through our oceans. And that in essence is the intent or intentional energy behind my own life force, is like, let's clean up. It's time to clean up our oceans. It's time to clean up our vibrations, right? It's time to, yeah. I have a expression in the book. It just says we're the ground control vibrational cleaning crew, you guys. The ground control vibrational cleaning crew. We got to get our energies clear and harmonized on a higher level. And we got to practice being more real with each other, which doesn't mean holding hands and singing Kumbaya. You guys know this. It just means all putting our hands up and just being totally cool with the fact that we're all big fuck ups as humans, but at the same time, we're totally fucking divine and powerful. And if we want to rise in a more benevolent power and a more exhilarated way of being, we have to be fucking responsible. The cosmos is not going to give us that power if we're just going to destroy the earth. Hi, guys, come on. Do you get that? We have to become responsible if the universe is then like, okay, here's more benevolence and grace and divinity and power and beauty and awesome, but you're not going to use all of that power and divinity and awesome to create more death and destruction. Not on this planet, guys. Not on Earth. Not on this realm. She's just too good. Like, she's just too much love for that. Do you think? Otherwise, we just wouldn't be here. If we wanted to go to like a dark planet, we would. But Earth is like a love planet. Earth is all like love vibration and creation and stuff like that. she's not run by the overlord. She's run by like lovely, peaceful Shire folk in essence. Anywho, I digress. Does it matter? Not at all. I hope that was useful to you. Maybe even a little entertaining. I don't know. I might even broadcast another video today, or I might even make a video and edit it and all of that. Look, with all my juicy new lights. I have new lights and it's awesome. It's awesome, you guys. Look, you gotta be mindful. Look how lighting, it just makes things really rather different. Anywho, you guys bring light to my life and I'm thankful for you, and I hope that you have a glorious day, and I'll speak to you real soon. Peace out, you guys. Take care. Bye, 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 bye.